Welcome back to the day 3 of our lesson. So, if you've made it this far and you're still not subscribed, please kindly hit the subscribe button. So far, we've learned how to add rectangles, text in our designs. So today, we're going to learn how to align our items. So to do that, I'm going to create a new frame. And to create a new frame, I'm going to click on this icon here. And then I have some frames that appears on the right hand side. I'm going to select the MacBook Air, or you can pick any of this. Now we have a new frame. In a project, you can have multiple frames. More than one. You can have 5, 10. There is no limit to the number of frames you can have. Now, I'm going to zoom in so that we can all see. To do the zoom in, I hold the command and then use my mouse wheel to scroll in and out. After that, I'm going to add a rectangle here. I will drag the rectangle and it can be of any size. So right now, we want to align this rectangle to the center of this. But before we do that, let's force this. Let's try from the left hand side, put it to the center, then the right hand side. If you notice, after selecting the rectangle, we have some icons here. So these are the alignment icons that we are going to be using. The first one here is going to align my items to the left. So at first, you might forget which is which, but once you highlight, you're going to see what the alignment does. So automatically, this pushes my element to the left hand side of the frame. And then I'm going to select the center here horizontally. You notice it pushes that to the center horizontally. Then I can go right here. You see. The next thing is we want to try this. So the first 1, 2, 3 align your items for you horizontally. Then the next 1, 2, 3 does that vertically. So let's go top. You see. Now I can go center, and then I can decide to go to the end here. All this, you notice, it's taking alignment with the big frame here. So before you can align anything, you need 2 items. This time I'm using this one and then the big frame. Your item will always be aligned to the bigger items. If you have 2 items, the smaller one will always be aligned to the bigger one. So let's try to put this in the center here without dragging that. So we select this. I'm going to use the horizontal center, and then I'm going to use the vertical center. So this is at the center of this frame. Right now, I'm going to resize this, and then I will press Ctrl D or Command D to duplicate. We said once you do that once, you just need to drag that out here. So I'm going to duplicate this again, and then again. So the computer will always remember your last move once you do the Ctrl D for the first time and you drag that out. So let's see something here. Let's increase the size of this. So if you want to increase it, hold Shift and then drag so that you get that perfect square. So now I have this. And you notice it's telling me this, it's giving me the space between each of this item, which is 64 each. Right now, let's pick these 2 items. I'm going to select this first one, hold Shift and select this other one. Drag that here. So if we try to align these 2 items, let's say I want this to start here. If I try to align that to the top here, Let's say, like I mentioned earlier, the smaller one will always be aligned to the big one. If I want this to be at the center, I will have to use this. See, I have that at the center. If I want this to be at the bottom, I will have to do that here. The same thing, but if you're trying to do this, you see, it's going to take them together. So we don't try that. I will Ctrl Z here because it's going to join them together. Now, if this is a different color, let's do that here so that we can try that. This is a different color, and you see, let's try to align them now. If I use this, let's say I'll align here, and you notice the first one is not visible. That is because the bigger one is at the top here. This is the bigger one. So the smaller one is at the bottom. If you want that to be visible, drag the smaller one to the top. If yours is visible, you can leave that. So now you see, I can select this and then pick the smaller one here. So let's try to align them this time now to center. I will do this and I'll align this to center. So you see, the smaller one is at the center of this big one. So these are some of the basic alignment that we can perform with our shapes. So this is not just restricted to shapes. We can try that also on text. So let's explore this last option that we are having here. So let's say I have this somewhere here, this somewhere here, and then this somewhere here. And I want to make sure that the space between them is the same. So I'm going to select the first one, select the second one, and then this third one here. So right now, once I hover over this, you see I'm getting this sign here, which is doing the same work with this. So let me click on this sign here. Notice the space between them now, you see it's the same here, and then the space here is the same. Now if I select this here, you see I have the vertically. If I want them to be vertically aligned, I have that here. Horizontally aligned, and then I have that here. So but if you want them to be on the same line, you still have to come back to this. We have them on the same line. And if I want to push them to the center, but at this point now, because we don't have a reference point, they are just going to join together. So I'm just going to undo that here. So now we have them at the center. Right now, let's try to apply this knowledge on this project. So to do that, we are going to make sure that we are selecting these items that have been grouped individually. So you can hold Command Shift, then you can directly select this item without double clicking. Hold Command Shift and then select this. If you're working on Windows, please hold Control Shift. Is the same thing as Command Shift on Mac. So for us to align these items, I'm going to use this here, that's vertical center here, to make sure that they are all on the same line. So these are on the same line. So the next item I want to select here, after zooming out, hold your Control Shift still and select this. So we want to do the same for this. So you notice this is now more aligned than what we had earlier. Select this button, and then if you select this button, hold Command Shift and then select this item and also this item here. Once you've done that, we are going to tidy the spacing between here and here. So to do that, let's click on this last option here. So this time we want the vertical spacing. If you're going from top to bottom, is vertical. So now I'm going to select this. So now the spacing here is 46, the spacing here is 46, and then I can close this, and we can go back here on this. Now let's select these two items, that's the V Jordan, and then hold shift to select this one. Don't hold the command shift because it's going to select them individually. So after doing that, we are going to use the vertical center so that they'll be on the same line. You notice it pushes my star a bit. Now you can group these two items, Control G or Command G on Mac. So hold shift and select this other rectangle. So you can press the Command G to group. So now you can hold shift and then Command to select this item here. Now we can use the vertical center to center the button. Now we can group these two items since they are aligned. The next thing is we want to make sure that the space here and here is the same. So you can hold shift and then hold shift to select this, hold shift to select this. Then we can click here. We said from top to bottom is the vertical spacing. So now the spacing between this item here is 16 and here is 16. You can repeat the same step on this other component, or you can delete them. So for day 3, we are going to stop here. If you're still not subscribed, please kindly hit the subscribe button.